Hey, welcome back to Mr. Burton's class. Today I'll be going over an I do for adding rational numbers. This is part 2 of adding rational numbers, so we'll have a focus on fractions. Let's get started. So our question says, Miss Oliver asks 3 students to place an expression on the number line to represent the solution. The number line below shows 0 and -1.5. Determine where each student should place the solution to their expression. Okay, so I circled the numbers that were in the statement, and what I'll do is I'll box in what it's telling us to do. Determine where each student should place the solution to their expression. And we're going to place that solution on this number line right here. So let's get started. We know that they have on there 0 and they have a -1.5. Now looking at this, here's the 0, here's the -1.5. So seeing these, this lets us know how we can label the rest of the line. Let's go ahead and do that now. So we have 0 labeled and there's -1.5. So the number or the line that's in between those has to be 1. So let's write 1 there. Then if that one is 1, let's go ahead and label 2, and let's label 3. Remember, these are negatives. So that's -1, 2, and 3. Let's go ahead and label the other side. Since we already know that the lines represent a jump of 1, we can label this one 1 on this side and 2 there, and those would be positive. So let's figure out what we're supposed to do with the information that we've been given that's right over here. So it says Miss Oliver asks 3 students, underline that, to place an expression on the number line to represent the solution. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to place an expression on the number line to represent the solution. And it's going to be the solution for each of the 3 students, Judy, Rico, and Cade. So if you can see Judy's, you see that this is subtracting fractions. So we'll save this one until the end because that'll be our next lesson. So let's start with Rico. We have a -1.5 plus 4. So we're starting at the -1.5, which is the dot that's right here. We're going to be adding 4 to that -1.5. Now that's going to be a positive 4, so that's going to take us in the positive direction, which is to the right. Let's do it now. So we're starting at -1/2, and we're going over 1. Remember, if we're going from -1/2, then up 1 would be to -1/2. Our next jump would take us to a positive 1/2. How many jumps is that? That's 1 and 2. Now let's go ahead and make our third jump. That takes us to 1.5. And then let's make our final 4th jump, and that'll take us to 2.5. So we know that for Rico, 1.5 plus 4 would equal to 2.5. So that's our answer for Rico. Good job. Let's go ahead and move on to Cade. Cade says -1.5 plus 1.5. Let's use a different color for Cade's jumps. So Cade starts at -1.5, which is here. And we're going to be adding 1.5 to that. So we start and make our 1 jump. That's 1. And we're at -1/2. Now we need to make half a jump. If this is a full jump, then jumping to this line would be a half jump. So that would be 1 jump and a half. And that would give us 0. So Kate's, when you bring together a negative 1.5 plus 1.5, that goes to 0. Good job. All right. And finally, let's go ahead and tackle Judy's. So as I said before, Judy's is about subtraction. That'll be our next lesson, but let's go ahead and do a preview now. So with Judy's, she starts off at let's change the color for Judy. With Judy, she starts off with a negative 1/2 minus 2. Okay, so the negative 1/2 would start us right here where we started with all 3. And we're going to be subtracting 2 from that negative. So the way that I like to explain it is, if I owe you $1.50 and then now I owe you $2 more, how many dollars do I owe you now? Exactly. We're going to be going negative because I owe you more money. So let's do that. We start at negative 1/2, make a jump of 1, make a jump of 2. This jump would be a negative 2.5. This jump would be a negative 3.5. So, if I owe you $1.50 and then I now owe you $2 more, then now I would owe you $3.50 or 3.5. Good job. Now remember, subtraction is our next lesson, but as you can see, it's pretty simple now that you know the basics. Thanks for joining me today in Mr. Burton's class. Be sure to like and subscribe for more videos coming soon. Take care. Peace.